It began with a listing. A simple online ad. 2-bedroom apartment, old charm, unbeatable price. The kind of deal no young couple could ignore. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Dark Corner. If you like my stories, don't forget to subscribe. And so, Jamie and Claire moved into apartment 3B. Never questioning why the rent was so low. Never asking why the hallway always smelled of mildew and ash. Or why the neighbors never smiled. They moved in on a Thursday. By Monday, they weren't sleeping. By Wednesday, they weren't speaking. By Friday, one of them was missing. It was Claire who first heard it. The scratching behind the walls. At first, she thought it was rats. Then came the knocking. Soft. Rhythmic. Always from the inside of the hall closet. She laughed it off. Until the night she opened it and found a note inside. No sender. Just a torn page and scrawled handwriting. Don't let it see you sleep. She thought Jamie was playing a trick. He swore he wasn't. But he looked pale. Exhausted. Like the apartment was draining something from him. The building was old. The kind of old that seeps into your bones. Peeling wallpaper that reeked of tobacco and mold. An elevator that groaned like it was in pain. And that one flickering light at the end of the hallway. The one that never stopped buzzing. The landlord, Mr. Hemsley, lived on the top floor. He walked with a limp and never made eye contact. Always smiling. Always polite. But his eyes. Dead. Like someone wearing a human costume. One night, Jamie saw someone standing in the hallway. Or rather, something. Tall. Thin. Too thin. Its arms dangled past its knees, and its head twitched like a glitching video. Jamie blinked. And it was gone. He didn't tell Claire. Not at first. Not until she woke up screaming one night, convinced something was standing over her. Watching. Breathing. And whispering her name. They installed cameras. Motion sensors. Even nailed the closet shut. But still, the knocking came. Always at 3:17 a.m. Always from the inside. And each morning, the closet door was open again. Just slightly. Just enough. They tried to leave. Packed their bags. Got in the car. But when they reached the city limits, their GPS glitched. The roads looped. And somehow, they ended up right back at the apartment. 3B. Door wide open. As if it had been waiting. That night, Jamie started sleepwalking. He stood at the foot of their bed for hours. Eyes wide open. Mouth silently moving. Whispering words Claire couldn't understand. Latin. Or older. Primal. When she touched him, he collapsed like a puppet whose strings had been cut. He remembered nothing. The next day, Claire went to speak to the neighbors. But apartment 3A was empty. So was 3C. And 3D? Every unit on their floor was abandoned. Dust on the doorknobs. Mail piled high. But every night Claire heard footsteps. Footsteps above. Footsteps below. Murmurs behind the walls. And the sound of something, not quite human, breathing. She confronted the landlord. Mr. Hemsley only smiled. You signed the lease, he said. It takes what it's owed. What is it? Claire asked. He didn't answer. Just handed her a small key. Old. Rusted. Smelled like blood. The basement, he said. See for yourself. That night, she followed the scent. Mildew. Copper. Decay. The key fit a padlocked door beside the boiler room. Inside. A narrow staircase. Dripping pipes. And walls covered in scratch marks. At the bottom. A room. Bare, except for a single chair. And chains. So many chains. One chain was still warm. On the wall. Dozens of photos. Tenants. Couples. Smiling families. Crossed out faces. One by one. Until the last photo. Her. And Jamie. Uncrossed. But next to them. A shadow. Blurry. Wrong. Not behind them. Inside the photo. Between them. She ran. Heart pounding. Screaming Jamie's name. When she burst into the apartment, the lights were out. Everything was cold. Too cold. She found Jamie in the closet. Eyes open. Mouth sewn shut. Still breathing. Still alive. Barely. And on the wall, scratched into the paint, "Only one leaves. One must stay." Claire stayed by his side for 2 days. Feeding him water through a straw. Trying to cut the threads from his lips. But they bled too much. Like the skin had grown around them. She begged the landlord. He only said, "He's been chosen. Every building has a soul to feed. Yours is lucky. It feeds slow." Then came the final night. The knocking grew louder. The closet opened on its own. Jamie's body rose. Not on its own. Pulled. Lifted. By something invisible. Claire screamed and held on to him. But the room began to stretch. The walls melted. Reality buckled. In that moment, Claire made a choice. She let go. The knocking stopped. The room fell silent. And Claire was alone. The police never found Jamie. Just a torn lease. And a note that read, "He stays. I go." Claire left the building the next day. Or thought she did. But the roads looped. The city blurred. Her phone died. And when she arrived at the new apartment, the number on the door was 3B. Same hallway. Same buzz. Same faint knock. Behind the closet. Because once you sign that lease, you are the building. And the building is you. Forever.